Well, who would have thought I'd be saying this at the beginning of the year? The Las Vegas Golden Knights beat the Winnipeg Jets in 5 games to advance to the Stanley Cup Finals for their first time in franchise history, and I believe the first time in an expansion history where an expansion team goes to the finals in their first year. That was a good hockey game. I'm mixed feelings about this. Honestly, I'm happy for Vegas. I'll just get that out here. I never did not want Vegas to win. I'm happy for them. I'm glad for them, and I can't wait to see the finals between them. But at the same time, it's like, I really want the Jets to do it, and it's just, you know, I want the Jets, but the Knights are moving on. But I'm still happy about the Knights moving on. It was a good hockey game, and I'm just gonna go right to the scoring first, and then we'll go to so first period, 5 minutes and 11 seconds in, Alex Tuck gets a sixth from Carpenter. And we talk about this mainly for road teams. That first 5 to 10 minutes is so important for them, and you need to play very well. And the Jets at that shot, I believe the shots were 6-1, 6-2 for the Knights, and it was like, or even 7-1 and 7-2. Anyway. So this one, I was like, yeah, I could start again. 5-11 in, and you need to postpone that, and it hit off Morrissey's skate. Tuck got it, got in. Sucks, but hey, I was on my feet for like at least half of this game. I was like, oh, I got off my chair. I'm like, oh my god, and then nothing. But then later on at 17-14 in the first, Josh Morrissey gets his first career playoff goal from Brian Little right off the face-off, and it's a tie game heading out to the first. And I was like, oh, then it built off a little bit momentum going to the end of the first, but shots were 13-8 for the Jets. It was kind of like what the commentators even said. The first period felt like 2 periods. The first half of the period was really Vegas, and then the second half was Jets. And so it was a great start. I thought it was going to be a close game. I thought this game was going to overtime, but I was wrong, honestly. Second period, at 13-23, Ryan Reeves gets his first of the playoffs, second in his career, from Spiza and Nosek. And it's 2-1 Knights, and I'm like, oh. I'm happy for the Knights moving on, but obviously I'm rooting for the Jets. But Knights win, I'm like, oh, god damn it. I'm like, hey, it's not over. There's still plenty of hockey left. That was that. And that was a goal where Connor Hellebuyck just lost his first helmet and had to use his second helmet. And they were talking about how he was going to be discomfort and it's going to get used, has to get used to it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they score. I'm like, oh. Oh my god. Shots were 15-11 for Vegas. So going to the third period, I was like, oh, this is going to be a big third. And they were saying, I think the Jets' only way to get out is they're going to have to get like 15 plus shots in this period. Nothing happened. Last wave of attack, but the Vegas got the puck a little bit more than they should have for the Jets to try to get the tying goal. They did not get the tying goal, obviously, so Vegas won 2-1. And they are going to the Stanley Cup Finals. They beat the Jets in 5. And honestly, I was expecting this series to go to 6, maybe even 7. But Knights win it in 5. I'm happy for the Knights, but I wish it was the Jets. Shots in total, each team shot 32 times. And honestly, you can't blame Hellebuyck for this game at all. He had a good game. He had the last 3 games, yes, they were bad, but this game it was his bounce back game, and he really bounced back. The first goal, he could have had it. I don't think he might have, but the second goal, you could say that he was in discomfort from his helmet because he had to use his second helmet, and right away he went back and it's like, I'm not using that. He had 30 saves on 32 shots. .938 save percentage. Like I said, he had a good game. And you can't blame him for the loss at all. The Jets offense just couldn't get pucks in, and they just ran into a brick wall with Marc-Andre Fleury, who stopped 31 of 32 shots with a .969 save percentage. So Fleury had a good game. Fleury had, once again, first game was bad, but the rest was all outstanding. And like I said, you can't blame Hellebuyck. Jets had a lot of chances. They just couldn't bury it. They had 4 power plays in this entire game, and they could not get one. Penalty killing by both teams. Great penalty kill. Each went perfect. But, yeah. Hellebuyck had a good game, and you can't, no matter what, at this point, no matter if you lose or win, you can look back and say, oh, yeah, we had a pretty good year. Like, let's be honest. I don't think anyone in September thought the Knights and the Jets would be in the conference finals. Maybe the Jets, but not the Knights, let's be honest. Except for die-hard Knights fans. I would think. And you look back at the Jets are a young team. I'm not surprised they're out. But, because they're such a young group. So they can regroup, come back again next year. I won't be surprised if they don't come back again next year. Vegas, it's a ride of a lifetime, and they are more of a little bit of an experienced team. Honestly, Marc-Andre Fleury, if they did not have Fleury, they would not make the play. Well, they might have maybe, but I don't think they would have made it this far without Fleury. Fleury has been the heart and soul of this team, and once again he proved that tonight. Great game for him. So now Vegas just gets to lie here and wait. They're about a week. They said the Stanley Cup Finals will most likely start on the 28th. So that is, I believe, the Sunday or Monday of next week. That's going to be interesting. It's either going to be against the Caps or the Bolts. If Vegas, honestly, they're probably hoping that goes to 7, so they're more tired. Because we saw what happened with this. The Jets were super tired after 7 games, and they got that. Look what happened. If I was honestly, not just because how the Bolts are good, but I definitely would prefer the Capitals going into the finals. Because just consider how Vegas is such good at home, and Caps are good on the road, but the Vegas is much better at home, and the Caps are such crap on the road at home as well. It's going to be interesting. So, not only that, they probably want the Caps so they have home ice. Because if the Bolts win tomorrow night in Game 6, the Game 1 of the finals will be in Tampa. If the Caps win tomorrow night and then they win Game 7, and then it'll start in Vegas. So, either way, if I was the Knights, I'd probably rather hope for the Caps. But at this point, we're like, hey, Fleury was able to shut down a high-powered offense in the Jets. Why can't he do that to the Lightning? And the problem with the Jets, I think, was depth as well. It's similar to Boston. It was all Scheifele's line, Wheeler, Scheifele, and Connor's line in Buffalo. The stats in line with Laune and Ehlers, I think it was. I think that's who it is. They got 2 goals, but they was on the power play. So, that's what the problem ran into with the Jets. But I look back and say, hey, we had a pretty good season. Just it wasn't our year. We can come back next year and try to hope to win it then. So, and also talk about how Englad, I'd probably pronounce that wrong, held up the Western Clearance Bowl. He touched it and carried it to the locker room for the Knights. People, honestly, superstition. If you touch the trophy, you lose. But I mean, let's be honest, they're an expansion team. What else could happen to them, right? But that is it. Knights move on. Jets lose. Either way, no matter what happens, if the Knights even lose in the finals, no matter what happens, you can look back for these two teams both and say, we had a pretty good darn year. So, that's all it is. Vegas wins in 5, and excited to see Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time.